Greetings and hello to all of you Confirmation Small Group Guides. If you are receiving this, you are going to be helping us this year with Confirmation Ministry. And I have to start off by saying I'm so very grateful and thank you for your willingness to serve and support these kids. Without you, this is not at all possible to do what we do here at Trinity in our Confirmation Ministry. So from the bottom of my heart and from everyone here at Trinity, thank you so much for saying yes to this journey. I want to make sure that I was going to go over a number of bits and pieces just in case you didn't make our guide training, and make sure that you have all of the tools that you need to succeed this year in Confirmation. So without further ado, away we go. First and foremost, make sure that you fill out one of these volunteer forms / background checks. There are two sides to it. We will have some printed out and on Kelsey's table in the narthex should you need one of those. Otherwise, I can email it to you and you can fill it out and send it to me, scan it, all that jazz. But they're good for 3 years if you've already filled one out for being a mentor, or if you've been a guide previous and you know you've done it. If you have any questions about that, please let me know, and Kelsey has that information written down. And also, mind you, we do ask for your social security number so we can do the background check and the driver's license number. We keep these under lock and key in the finance office, so not to worry about that. We will take very good care of your private information. We will be hosting currently we are hosting Families Moving Forward. And so I want to make sure that you know that if you have a small group meeting space that is in the fellowship hall, you will not be meeting there. You will just stay put in the sanctuary and check in with your small group there, at least for just this week. And then you will be back into your regularly scheduled places after that. On that note, please make sure that you tell the kids to stay out of the fellowship hall and to not be bothering those families who we are hosting. We want to make sure that we give them space and that we're respectful of them. Please and thank you. Dinner on that score too will be in the Great Hall, which is our gym. If you're not familiar with that, that's on our lower level. That's where where the dinner will be. And like I said, please be mindful that we have guests. We have 3 families who will be staying with us this week, so make sure that you're respectful of their space. Please reach out and contact your groups. We will get you contact information ASAP. There is a sample right below here of a beautifully crafted email to the small group led by, who is it? It was Jennifer Weiss, beautifully crafted, and Deb Johnson. So thank you, ladies, for your leadership there. There's a good example of what you might want to reach out and just remind everybody what those expectations are and that they should be coming tomorrow for Confirmation at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7:15. Guidebook stuff. Each and every one of you will receive one of these. Your youth have one that's very similar, but it's in orange. So that's the way that they will follow along. For example, tomorrow night, our lesson is on Judges. If you see on the left side, this is your prep, and on the right side, this is your small group facilitation time. So if you would please read this before you come on Wednesday night when you are leading your small group. Pastor Carey will be leading a huddle in the art room, which is also on our lower level, on the way to the fellowship hall at 5:30, same time as worship arts. So feel free to join her if you have any questions about what's going on in the lesson. If you're struggling with it, if you have any theological conversations, just read this, and then this will help you facilitate your small group time. So there are some pages in here to help guide you through how you do that. We have our Faith 5 is how we go over our lessons. And so if you would go in your guidebooks to page 32, there's a guide to leading your small group and tells you walks through step by step how to do that. Also, don't forget to read page 30, which is Safeguarding God's Children. Just a few good reminders on how we work with young people here at Trinity, as well as a few do's and don'ts on page 31. some good ideas on how you could be praying together before you leave, how you could be blessing each other before you leave on pages 34 and 35. And on the very, very back, there's a covenant page. It's the second to last page. I want you to read that through with your kids once you meet and have them sign it. So if they ever toe out of line, you can open this up and say, hey, is this your signature right here? Let's make sure that we are being respectful of each other and our time together, because our time is so very, very short. Reminder, 6 o'clock is when we would like you in the sanctuary, ready to begin. So on time is late, early is on time. I'm not very good at that myself, but I want to encourage you to be mindful of that with your kids in your small groups. Let me see. Also, the inside cover has our big schedule, and we will have a printed out version of the big, long, color coordinated schedules if you want to take one of those so you can stick that on your refrigerator at home. Feel free to grab that. Your guidebooks will be found. There is a pew out in the narthex outside of the sanctuary, right when you come in door A. Right to your immediate left, there will be a number of totes, and they look like this. They'll be color coordinated by class, so there'll be one for 6th, one for 7th, and one for 8th. They will also include a battery-operated candle if you want to use that for any of your kind of devotional time. That's entirely up to you. We're going to do our best to include those as well. You'll have pens. You'll be able to take note of people's attendance. There'll be a clipboard in there for that. So hopefully all of your tools that you will need are in there. And I think maybe I forgot to mention that there will be a student book which will have the same questions for the small group time, that's in orange for each of the kids to take, and they can write their name on the back. One other note that I wanted to make would be that there will be 4 of our original guidebooks. What you have here is a condensed version of this guy right here. There are 4 of these, 4 units, like I said, Old Testament, New Testament, church history, small catechism, and Lutheran living. So we're talking about our theology. They are very big, and like I've maybe mentioned too, that we like to transition over the course of the year by doing the first few lessons on the Old Testament, the next on the New Testament, transitioning into the Catechism, church history, and Lutheran living all in one year, rather than focusing strictly on a whole year of Old Testament, so on and so forth. So in your books, what it will say is, if you look at your first lesson night number 1 on the Judges is an Old Testament lesson. So you'll go, it says Old Testament book number 1, page number 49. So if you see in here the lesson isn't up to what you want to use, if it's not enough, if you're looking for some games, if you're looking for some additional ideas, you go to page 49 in your big book that will be found in your tote, and find the Judges lesson, and then it'll have the same prep and questions, and then it has some icebreakers, and it has some other information and stuff that might be of some use to you. So there's like about 6 pages of content for each one of our lessons. We just gave you the simplest version in here. So it's entirely up to you. You can deviate from this. As long as you're taking care of the kids, you're being encouraging. And if you have any questions about that, if you need any encouragement, please let me know. And especially, like I say, do show up on Wednesday nights at 5:30 in the art room and attend Pastor Carey's session, the guide huddle. If you have any questions, that's super helpful. I know we've gotten a lot of nice feedback on that in the past. So yes, don't forget to sign your covenant. We will be stopping by in your small group and quickly take a picture of each of your small group kids, because we're going to be putting together a very thorough database for all of the kids with their contact information and their pictures included. So that's really helpful. I don't think I have anything else. Please make sure that you reach out to your kids, and thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night, and pressing on through this whole year of ministry. I respect you. I so adore your help, and God has called each and every one of you to this ministry. Thank you so much, and much peace. Win Twins. Let's go. Beat those Yankees.